Hey everyone, and welcome to my Diablo 2 Resurrected Dual Grief Whirlwind Frenzy Barbarian build guide video. What's better than Grief? Sorry, not sorry for the clickbaity thumbnail. Who Grief is better than Grief? Those are mid-roll and it melts everything. It's OP. Absolutely overpowered. But why is it even so strong? Because of the Venom proc, Venom on striking. And you see the one-hit damage here. It says 35 of at DPS, but it adds this flat, in this case, 370 damage on top of that. And that's what makes it broken. Damage to demons per level. Poison Pierce comes in handy because of the Venom proc, but yeah, but this flat damage number on this weapon is very weirdly calculated in the background. Okay? And when they made this game 25 years ago, I bet they typed a 0 too much in their code or something. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, what's better than Grief? 2 Grief. There you go. My remaining gear, and this is Eager Players 8 viable. Okay, this melts everything Players 8. Well, I don't know if Ubers or something like this, but Chaos, Draft, Players 8 Bail runs, whatever. You can do everything with this build. This is even without Fortitude. I think that's even more broken. This without 300 ED. That's with Enigma. They have a G phase here with a 15 IS jewel and max damage. Also very low roll. Would be way more max damage. Highlords, probably best in slot Amulet. Deadly strike based on character level. I have Gore Rider here for massive offensive stats like Deadly Strike, Open Wounds, and Crushing Blow. Dual Leech Ring, this is important for the build to make this work. I can spin infinitely. Gods, just for the flat damage, no questions asked. Lightning Absorb is whatever. Look at my resistances. I'm farming Players 8 with this. If everything melts in a second, I barely even get hit, you know what I mean? Just that OP. A Raven Frost for cannot be frozen and a good amount of attack rating. That cold damage is also neat. Best melee gloves in the game because of the damage to demons multiplier. What's even the advanced stats staying here? How much damage to demons do I have? Because I have 2. It's 522. And it only counts 1. So it's like 700 damage to demons. 700% damage to demons. Easy peasy. In the offhand, 2 Heart of the Oak Rune Words for the buff up for the plus skills and for teleport speed. Inventory, max damage attack rating live. More job inventory, max damage attack rating live. Watch any. The mercenary has the following setup. He gave him a last wish. Ethereal Fortitude, Ethereal Arreat, needs a socket though, with maybe also a attack speed max damage to it, because also Frenzy Barb, and a Lawbringer for the Decrepify proc. I think on Players 8 this is important. To have some source of Decrepify somewhere. For people who don't have the expensive last wish, I think an Act 2 mercenary with a Reaper's Toll would be almost the same, even though the Might Aura from Last Wish has a higher level than the Mercenary could ever give. Yeah, that's it for the gear. Pretty straightforward. To Grief, Enigma, just the absolute best gear in the game, I think, for PVM. Ring is lacking, could be better though, but at least it's dual leech. Yeah, check out the DPS. In the intro you saw Players 8. Let's check out Players 1. My rule of thumb for a dual grief frenzy barb is it only has to be 1 whirl. Okay, it's a 1 whirl build. If I need 2 whirls for a monster pack on Players 1, the build is trash. That's my rule of thumb for a dual grief setup. Everything needs to be melted in 1 whirl. That's a good sign. It's a good sign right there. Get some frenzy stacks here. I can't believe this damage without Fortitude. That's the thing, man. That's just with Enigma. I wanted to test the Bramble armor because I have yeah, this Venom proc. But if I remember correctly, it's something weird with Grief. Like scaling up poison damage is not it. It's not the right call. But that's like information from... It's lurking somewhere in my brain from like, I don't know, forum entry from 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So who knows if that's true. And also, D2R is not LOD. That's just the truth, you know what I mean? Not because they added like 3 new rune words. It's something is slightly off in the D2R client. In all aspects, even when it comes to things like drop rates. Like I had the weirdest drops ever in D2R. And I would swear to God, it's not possible. For example, I found a chum from Countess. How? How is that a thing? You know what I mean? Am I just an RNG god, or the loot tables are slightly off here? People don't believe me. I'm not sure if I have a clip somewhere, but it happened live on stream, so a bunch of people saw it. There are witnesses, alright? Yeah, D2R is wild, man. Slightly different than LOD. Look at this DPS. Good old seal. I hate running slow, man. Let me change the helm just for chaos. Where is Cure? We have a cleansing aura. Now we're talking. Now we are talking, monsters. Curse me again. I dare you. Some viewers have eagle eyes, man. I really missed a unique ring in this Bale wave. I did not see this ring dropping, man. I even hawked the ring. I even hawked it. Yeah, mistakes can be made. I'm just a human. I'm just a human, I'm not a robot, alright? Also, I'm not a know-it-all. You will probably, if you look at every single video I've ever uploaded, you will find a mistake here and there. That's just facts. Yeah, it's just I mean, what can you say? Is this even Helm mode? Yeah, it is. It's so nuts. Of course, it's giga expensive. That's a very good and underrated mercenary weapon. If it would be Ethereum. Yeah, it's just nuts, but it's of course giga expensive. Can be happy if you get 1 grief in a regular season. Let alone 2. Then it should be a good roll. Those are mid. Those are really, really poorly rolled griefs, man. Okay. This even enhanced damage faceplate. The base had 9 ED. Absolutely useless because the damage comes all from this broken flat damage and poison damage. So yeah, 9 ED to increase the base damage of the faceplate from 35 to 38 is not. It's not important. I love Enigma, especially on the setup. To yeah, almost strength bug my gear. They have 5k HP. Almost doesn't matter if the resistances look like this with a health pool like this. Absolutely. And the teleport speed is not the fastest anymore. I went down on the frames, but have more damage now from things like T-Gourds. But this is probably, I think this is the copy pasta best in slot setup, more or less. I'm not too sure about it. to always find Nilatark. Look at the graffiti on the wall. It's the secret. Yeah, for players 1, this is an absolute joke. This is an absolute joke. I think players 3 to 5 would feel really nice to farm this. Farm on this build. But yeah, the point is to have a players 8 viable. This is definitely players 8 viable. Oh! Not today. Yeah, I think this is as good as it gets in D2. Absolute final form unlocked. To have a Barbarian like this. Super fun. And now the min-maxing really begins, you know what I mean? Now you want to find the better small charms, the better grand charms, the better dual leech ring. Maybe reroll a grief. Things like this. Absolute madness. And this with the attack speed buff. It's something people forget a little bit, I think, in D2R. Would not spin like this in a lot of destructions. There's no way. But now everything counts. Every bit of attack speed counts. I think some people go even as far as pre-buffing burst of speed from a hustle sword. Have a hustle in a cube or whatever. With that to get the proc. And swap back to dual grief. Be nuts. Absolutely crazy, man. Yeah, the skill tree. 20 Whirlwinds. Another Grand Charm. 20 Whirlwind. 20 Battle Orders. 20 Frenzy. That's just my way to play this. There's wiggle room. Because at the end of the day you would need 20 Whirlwind. Maybe 20 Battle Orders if you want the massive HP pool. Yeah, that's the good thing about Whirlwind. It has no synergies. So would even go a Magic Find route, maybe. But yeah, I have 20 here. 1 into Berserk, just in case I encounter a physical immune. Just one-shot that sucker real quick. I don't like the... what's it called? Bone Break. It's too much incoming damage. I don't like the Bone Break, not on the Barbarian. Maybe cool on the Summon Necro. Fury Druid is alright with the Thunder Charm, but not the Barb, man. Not at all. Would it be worth it running the Poison Thunder Charm, maybe? I don't know. I stick with the old school max damage Grand Charms. Yeah, 1 point Berserk. Godly ability. 20 in Frenzy. To have a nice single target, and it stacks up the attack speed. One appreciated change would be a little buff icon. So you can see how many stacks you have and how long they last, but that's wishful thinking. I know. We'll never, something like this will never be in the game. I'm just saying. Yeah, since it's Faceblades, 20 to Blade Mastery, 1 and 2. Yeah, the so-called 1 point wonders. I have my remaining points into natural resistance. I had like 3 or 5 points remaining. That's my dump here. If I level up, just go with natural resistance usually. 1 point in item find. It's a little bit a meme, yeah, but in this last video I hawked the unique ring, which I didn't even see and I missed it. So obviously 1 point in here is worth it. 1 point battle command, that's the plus skill, and I have 20 in battle orders. The HP buff. Battle cry is also nice to have. Decreases enemies defense and damage. It's a little bit, yeah, it gets too much micromanagement to use this for my taste. But it's there just in case. It's fun to use against the boss sometimes when Diablo spawns. I mean, even D-clone spawns, hit him with battle cry. Why not? Yeah, that's skill tree. Skill tree. Sadly, this is not that viable for leveling. Of course, because you don't spawn with dual grief. But Whirlwind, I think out of all the specs, I played the Barbarian a lot. I think that's the second most playtime I have after the I'm an assassin main player in D2. Barb is a very close second in terms of in-game playtime. And out of all the specs you can run, I think Whirlwind is the most gear reliant because of either source of dual leech or at least mana leech. It needs really, really good weapons. And so on, so not that viable for leveling, sadly. I hope someone will disagree in the comments and tell me, hey, I always start as a Whirlwind Barb. Now, another thing is, you need level 30 to unlock it, so this is more endgame, really more endgame type stuff. For the stats, if I haven't mentioned it already, enough strength and dex to wear the gear here in my case, and my remaining points into vitality. This is totally personal preference, and also depends on if you play hardcore or softcore. Specking more points into strength is absolutely worth it because it scales the damage up really, really crazy for the Barbarian. And more dex would mean more attack rating. But that's viable to distribute more points here, but I just like to sit at a massive 5k HP pool. Yeah, I think I talked about the mercenary already. The mercenaries also have breakpoints in D2. I only know the Act 2 mercenary breakpoints. My bad. But I think at this point it doesn't really matter. He does not care about breakpoints anymore, you know what I mean? Absolutely bonkers. He has basically better items than me. If you would sum it all up, I think this last wish alone is worth more in terms of raw high rune value than my entire setup, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Is this the best Barbarian you can play in 2025 in Diablo 2 Resurrected? I guess it is. And again, sorry for the clickbaity thumbnail, but hey, you know what I mean. What's better? What a dumb question to ask. What's better than grief? There's nothing better than grief, duh. Unless a second grief. Thanks again for watching. Keep the video, give the video a like. Consider subscribing and have a good one. Later.